Hello friends, I hope you're doing okay today. I'm addicted to making card packs and filling in those extra slots in the binder, so I thought I'd take you on the process of making them and we can see what we get up to. So I got my card here and my trusty pencil, my alcohol markers, oh and 1 minute, a card. So we're actually going to need to split these up. Alright, there we go. Now I've done 9 here. And my issue is that I'm terrible at time management and I likely run out of time before I'm actually able to do them all. So we'll see how many I actually can get done and we'll see where we get to. So grab your snacks, we'll start yapping about some Pokemon. To kick things off, we're starting with Staryu. Now, for no real purpose other than it's a cool Pokemon. So Staryu spend most of their time on the seafloor, rarely coming up. That being said, on clear nights when the stars are bright, they'll rise to the top of the ocean, pointing the gem in the centre of their body towards the stars. Moving straight on, we're coming in with a Patreon request. The camera also cut off a little bit at the first, so I did lose the first bit of the sketch in there, so sorry for that. Typically what I do with these is I stick something on Patreon to let you know that I'm making card packs, and that's typically where I ask for suggestions to go in the packs. And Voltorb was such a good choice. From one that we knew was coming to one that absolutely nobody saw coming. I don't think I've seen a single request for Doduo, which isn't surprising at all to me, but here we are. Typically a flightless bird, they are in fact incredibly fast runners. The inspiration I went for was that kind of emu running stance. Honestly, bird legs are weird, I'll say it. Trying to draw this little two-headed docile bird was infinitely harder than I thought it was going to be. Side note, how many of these do you reckon are going to end up turning into group cards? And do you reckon this one's a group card? I mean, obviously not, but 2 heads? Kinda? Let me know if it counts. Now, this bird inhabits plains more often than not, providing like a large space for them to just bowl off. So yeah, that's just what I went for. Up next, we're going underwater. So I chose to do Lapras as, no joke, at least 3 different people in the space of like a week said it was their birthday and that they wanted to see Lapras drawn. So I may be a bit late, but happy belated birthday regardless. I really wish I could have done it in time, but here we are. Here we are eventually. Now, Lapras is one of those Pokemon that just makes me a bit emotional. So back in the early generations, the Dex entries typically stated how Lapras was basically extinct, or so close to extinction. However, now there's such an abundant number of Lapras according to the newer Lapras Dex entries, and that just makes me happy. We did it, guys. We did it. We saved them. From one emotional roller coaster to another one, we're back with another Patreon request, and this time it's our resident little sad boy. Oh, my heart bleeds for you, Cubone. It truly does. So I debated going for like the stereotypical crying Cubone, but he deserves to be happy. He deserves to have happy cards. So that's what we're doing today, a group of happy little fellas and one little sleepy boy. A truly incredible pick, if I do say so myself. And here we've got another one that's had quite a few different requests, to be honest. Yeah, we're going to add our favourite little idiots, Slowpoke. So honestly, I do try to stay away from Pokemon that people want to see in these packs, just since that I usually draw them off camera, but this is a little different today, because we're here anyway. So a very unintelligent Pokemon, found mostly around bodies of water and lazing about. Well, that is the sketching part of it done, and as I thought, my time management skills are terrible. And I guess we're making 2 card packs this weekend. So let me just get the line art done, and I'll be right back. Sorry, just there. Huh? Hello. A brief pause as I want to just take some time to shout out the Patreons. A beautiful set of people, truly wonderful. If you're interested in Patreon, there will be a link below. I upload all the cards that I do over the week, as well as any other artwork that I do on the channel. So there are a few options depending on what you're looking for, and I'm also adding discounts as one of the tier rewards. With that said, I'm opening the option for you to purchase the cards from the series, if that's what you want. Typically, I upload all the line art onto Patreon, so my plan is to print these off myself on a higher quality card, then hand colour these for you and obviously send them to you. So there will be a comment box for you to request any of the cards from the series, as well as requesting those to be shiny if you want, or if there's any like specific like monochrome type stuff, with the caveat that this will be any card from Spiritomb onwards. Again, there will be a discount for Patreon members. However, if you want to print these off yourself and just colour these in yourself, as well as any of the cards from the series, please feel free to check out Patreon below. In more news, I am going to do a giveaway. I'll mention it on the short as well, and again at the end of the video. But basically, I've recoloured all the cards that I've done so far from Spiritomb and made more Pokemon card packs with them. So my idea is to give away a total of 5. So 1 on the TikTok video, 2 on YouTube, 1 for the long form, 1 for the short form, and then 2 on Patreon, 1 for free and 1 for paid. So all you got to do is comment below. I don't expect you to pay for shipping or anything like that. I just want to show how truly thankful I am and how meaningful the support has been. Anyway, that's enough yapping for now. Let me try this again and we'll get back to colouring. And here we are, all lined up on a Saturday afternoon. That was absolutely terrible. Moving swiftly on. We're going to get these coloured in, but before that, we're going to spin the wheel. I'll get it loaded up and we'll see if any of these are going to be shiny. Big money, big money, big money, big money. Are you serious? Not a single one. Brutal. So you're going to see me panic a bit when I do this water. I won't lie to you. I add the darker blue and I start second guessing myself a little bit if it's the right move. In the end, I don't think it turned out that bad actually. But a side note about shiny Staryu. Depending on the game that you're in, it can look either very white or very green. Officially, the shiny colour is described as green, but if you ask me, the white version is infinitely better. So I did want this to kind of be a night sky, given that they're looking up at the stars. And so with that, I did kind of want it to be a darker-esque sea, but I didn't want it to be too dark. So it was kind of trying to find that balance between the two. I did just kind of like block in the sky, and then my idea is to use the white Posca marker to kind of highlight some stars in there. Right, I'll say it, colouring in interior isn't my strong suit. I think we all know that. My plan here was to just start colouring and hope for the best. I went for like the power plant blue and red barrels, as I think it weirdly ties into like the Pokemon world. It just gives me that vibe. So the shadow placement as well was a little rough, I won't lie. My thought is that there would be like a lot of light in a warehouse type space. So there wouldn't be any like real direction from where the light would be coming from. And so in turn, there was no real direction for like the shadows. But that was just kind of my train of thought. Duo. But we've only got one of the fellas, so I'm so sorry, pal, but you ain't shining today. I don't know why, but when I'm drawing, this kind of reminded me of like a kiwi bird, or more so the body. The scenery as well, I tried basically taking multiple different greens and sort of like flicking them across to form like the grass. Something I've been trying with the grass to kind of make it look a bit more interesting and less flat, and just kind of layering those greens on top of each other to kind of give it that, I guess, more real feel. One was really rough, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe just don't look at it like too hard. Our very own little lovebirds. So obviously I'm thinking one shiny and one not. I do start panicking when I do this water because again it's the darker blue. I think it's just the difference and the contrast, and especially if you're using alcohol markers. They typically dry a little lighter than what they go on as, so you kind of just have to bear that in mind when you're doing it and when you're colouring. Don't do what I do and start panicking just because you use the darker blue and you think it doesn't look right straight away. Just go with the flow. Take it easy, it's fine. I'm also a huge fan of the colour of shiny Lapras. Which is weird because I don't really like it when they kind of just make the blue Pokemon pink shinies, you know? Oh, our little babies, I'm back. Honestly, I was going to say this might be my favourite, but I was just looking through them all now, and I don't know, there are some bangers in here this time around, if I don't say so myself. I mean, if you want me to pick, obviously the best ones are Voltorb and Cubone here, no question. But that might just be my bias showing, to be honest. Again, that's the flicking that I kind of have been playing about with. Which I did not record because the camera hates me. I am so sorry, but there is one final thing that we need to do before we get all these packed up, and you get it. We need to stick the highlight on, as well as the borders and the numbers. So, white Posca marker, so that we can get the highlights on. And a black marker, which I will be using for the borders and the numbers. quickly get that done, and I will be right back so we can take a look at some pulls. Here we go. I do hope you've enjoyed the process of how I go through making these. We've honestly had some bangers, if I do say so myself. First of all, our little docile lot of slowpoke. And speaking of docile, we've got ourselves a little dodo, zipping along like a little maniac. A very dangerous vault top that you've disturbed. Again, shout out to Patreon members. I love you. Speaking of love, little Cubone, you absolute angel. Oh, little cosmic gazing star, you. Just straight up twinning it with this guy. And our beautiful pair of dancing lapras. I've honestly had so much fun. But we do just have one more snap to do because I need to get these packed up. I need them in their little packets. So if you give me 1 second. Easy peasy and ready to open. So we'll get these opened on the short form videos and popped into the binder then. Again, if you want to be entered for a chance to win, just comment below and I'll spin a wheel in about a week's time just to pull some names. You can enter it as many times as you want across as many platforms as you want. Thanks again for watching if you're still around, and I'll catch you in the next one.